Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings, aka Cam Fats, coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. I hope you guys are doing amazing out there on this fine Friday evening. Woo! Don't do anything I wouldn't do. It's Friday evening. Don't go crazy. Hope you're sitting at home, chilling, or stay nice and safe. Listen, guys, I want to talk to you guys about 5 ways to build your online business. 5 ways to build online success faster than lightning, right? I just want to kind of talk about some things that have worked for me and that have helped me build my online business over these last few years. Things that have really helped me. There's been things I've struggled with over the years, and overcoming those things have really helped me grow faster. And I wanted to kind of share some of those with you tonight. I got 5 big ones for you. All right. So the first one, now, before I even get into this, I want everybody to know in about 5 hours, I'm launching a new product. It's called Fat Stacks. It's going to be pretty awesome. It's probably, I don't know, man. I think that maybe this is the most special product I've ever put out, right? I don't think I've ever put anything out quite like this before. This is another thing. This is something different. That's for sure. It's definitely different than anything else I've ever put out before. And I think it's going to help a lot of people, and I think it's going to change a lot of lives. But whatever, we'll put that on hold. There should be some link around here somewhere in this video so that you can find the sales page to that thing. It's not live right now. It's in like 5 hours. It's going to go live. Really weird time, like at 1 a.m. Eastern time. So very, very weird time. But if you don't see a link or anything like that, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Reach out to me and say, hey, Cam, how do I find this new thing you're putting out? Let me know, and I'll get you a link to it. All right. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. 5 ways to build your online success faster than lightning. Big Lou Hornberger in the house. What's up, Lou? How you doing, man? Lou says it looks good from over here. Hashtag complete package. Thank you, Lou. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Lou is one of my fine affiliates. Lou has gotten an advanced copy of this product, so he knows what he's talking about. He's not just making stuff up. So anyways, let's talk about building your online business right now. Let's talk about 5 ways to build your online success, right? Because some of you guys, man, you're not even interested in starting a business, man. You just want to figure out how to find some success online. And I get it, man. I totally get it. Especially some people, who have been stricken by this whole COVID-19 thing, and, they're trying to just find some extra income. They're not really looking to start some kind of like online business. You know what I mean? Some kind of business. I just want to figure out how to make some money, right? So when I say online success, I'm talking to you guys too, right? I don't just mean like online business. I mean like anyone who's trying to see success online, right? Lou says, best day ever. Link is here on the FB Live. Awesome. Thank you, Lou. Appreciate you letting me know that, man. All right, so the first one, number 1. All right, number 1, numero uno, embrace change. All right. What I found here online is that things are not the same here every single day, right? This is not like, at the factory that you might work at, or, at your other job, wherever. It's not like that, right? Things are changing here every day. It's hard to get into a routine. A lot of you guys might not know this about me, but excuse me, I used to work at a hospital, right? I was a cardiac telemetry technician. This has been some time now. I left there in 2010, but I was a cardiac telemetry technician. If you don't know what that is, that's basically someone who watches heart monitors. And also I was a PCT, which is kind of like a patient care technician. I knew first aid, and I knew how to do all this medical type stuff. It was crazy. But the biggest job I did was watch heart monitors, watch for arrhythmias and stuff like that. I worked on a heart floor, so we got a lot of patients who, were having heart problems. So my job was a really serious job. It was kind of a life or death job a lot of times. And I saw a lot of crazy things, man. In fact, that was a weird job, and it kind of prepared me well for entrepreneurship, because every day was different in that job too. I mean, every day was like, there was always something weird going on. Like this one time, I remember I had this guy, he kept on coming off his heart monitor. I was like, what the heck's going on with this guy? So I go in his room and I check. He's completely not there. So I'm looking all over the hospital for this guy, trying to find him. He's off his heart monitor. He's on a heart floor, so he should be being monitored right now. He's got arrhythmias going on. And I finally found him outside the hospital, strolling back in his patient gown, strolling back from the Speedway. He had took off his heart monitor. He took his IV pole with him, right? He took his IV pole with him. He had strolled on down to the Speedway across the street from, this is a gas station, across the street from the hospital, bought himself a 6-pack of Miller Lite and was strolling back on up. And I caught him outside the hospital. I was like, dude, what are you doing out here? I've been looking all over everywhere for you. What are you doing? He's like, man, look, I just had to get some fresh air. I was like, well, what's under your jacket? What's that? And he's like, oh, man. All right, man. Well, look, man, just don't tell anybody, okay? I was like, nah, dude, I can't do that. I'll lose my job. So, of course, I had to tell everybody, and, he got in trouble and everything like that. But how much trouble can he get into? He's a patient at a hospital. But it was crazy, right? And it was just another night at the hospital. It was just another night at the hospital. I'll tell you another story. I one night I had a guy, he's on dialysis, right? And I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically the system where they filter your blood. All your blood completely gets filtered out because your kidneys aren't working correctly, right? And if you're on dialysis, you got to be on like a special diet, and you got to be careful how much salt you eat and stuff like that, because sodium makes you retain water and all this different stuff. I'm not going to get all medical on you guys, but the point is, this guy was on fluid restriction, right? Because he's only supposed to be drinking so much fluid, and he's not supposed to eat a bunch of salty food, right? So I go in his room to check on him, and check his fluid intake and everything like that. And he went ahead and ordered a pizza from like Donato's from down the road. He has ordered a pizza. He has literally called the pizza place from his hospital room and has ordered a pizza from the pizza place. They have come up and they have delivered it right to the patient. And it's like, how did this even happen? What is happening around here right now? What is going on? But like, yeah, man, he had bashed like 3/4 of this medium pizza, and like he had like a 2-liter of Pepsi, and he was like halfway through this 2-liter of Pepsi on fluid restriction, right? I was like, bro, what are you doing in here, man? You're not supposed to be eating this stuff. This is crazy. He's like, man, I know, dude, but sometimes this has got to be the way it is. Something like that, he said. He's basically just telling me, like, hey, it is what it is, man. And I was just, like, shaking my head, like, this is crazy. I can't believe some of these people, man. Like, I couldn't believe that, back then, this was back then. We're talking about, I don't know how old I was back then. This is, 2006, 2007. Back then, I couldn't believe that someone would be admitted to a heart floor with arrhythmias, like taking off all their heart monitors, strolling across the street to get a 6-pack of Miller Lite. That's crazy to me. I couldn't believe that someone who was having their blood filtered every single week could, dealing with this medical issue, would just like order a pizza and some Pepsi and stuff. I couldn't understand it back then. I can understand it now, though. I understand where those guys were coming from now. As crazy as they were, I get it a little bit more now. But people are crazy, right? And at that hospital, like, every night was something different. Now, in my experience, you guys, the first thing, let me just say, when it comes to those guys, hey, you know what? People want what they want. And that's a marketing lesson for you. I don't care if someone's on their deathbed or someone's doing pretty good. Like, you would be surprised how strong that desire is when someone wants what they want. Generally, when someone wants what they want, they find a way to get it. All right. And I think there's a lesson in there about offers, right? How good are your offers? Lou Hornberg said, at least it was light beer. Hashtag healthy. Yes, at least it was light beer. That's true, Lou. People want what they want, right? And I think that there's something in there about offers. If you really need to think about the offer that you have in front of people, because people want what they want, whether they can afford it or not. They want what they want. So if you can put something in front of them that they truly want, then it becomes infinitely easier to sell it. But back to what I was going to talk about with this change stuff, embracing change, right? So in my experience, online business, it's been a lot more like a campfire that you have to keep an eye on and kind of adapt to the weather. And it's been a lot less like a refrigerator that you just kind of like put stuff in there and forget about it. That's not how online business really has been for me. It's not like a refrigerator. You don't just set it and forget it. It's more like a campfire. You start it up, then you kind of keep it going, kind of monitor it. Maybe you can go away for a little while, but you need to kind of always kind of keep an eye on it and tend to it, right? That's kind of how an online business has been for me. Now, my new product that I'm putting out in about 5 hours here, it's called Fat Stacks. It's going to teach you about using proven tactics and strategies in a new and different way, right? On a new and different platform. At 1 a.m. tonight, in about 5 hours, Fat Stacks embraces change. It's going to introduce you to a new place you probably never heard of before, and it's going to help you use proven tactics and strategies to win with that location. You're going to love it. It's going to be awesome. So embrace change is the first one I have for you. So the second one I want to talk to you about is this idea of embracing adversity, okay? Now, every day in the world of like online business, like it always presents a new set of challenges every single day. I'll put up a list of 5 things that I want to get done on one day. Sometimes I'll get them all done. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll have other things that come in, real life stuff that I'll have to take care of, and it's always just every single day has got its own set of challenges. Matter of fact, today I had a customer reach out to me today and say they were trying to switch over from the old Insiders Club to the new Insiders Club. I got this thing called the Insiders Club. It's a discount club, and it just recently moved location a couple months ago. And there's been a few people who have had hiccups. They've been a member of the Insiders Club for a really, really long time, like years, and like they're having trouble like kind of figuring out how to move over to the new location. And I had some stuff I had to take care of today with stuff like that. But there's every single day it's something, right? There's always some little thing that presents its own like set of challenges. And I always think about like Lou Holtz. He was this like legendary football coach. And, Lou Holtz said, show me someone who has done something worthwhile, and I will show you someone who has overcome adversity. And I always think about that quote because it's so true with online business. There is an adversity to this that like it's every day, right? And kind of reminds me of some other things that happened to me at the hospital when I was working there. I remember this one time I was at the hospital and I was watching the telemetry monitors, making sure everyone's doing cool. I remember turning to a nurse to tell her about some arrhythmia that a patient was having, and then all of a sudden somebody grabs me and puts like a knife to my throat. I feel like something at my throat, and I'm standing up like this, and this guy's like whispering in my ear, telling me not to move, or he's gonna cut me, right? And he's got a knife to my throat. It was a butter knife, but I didn't know it at the time. I couldn't tell what it was. I just knew it was something sharp, like at my throat. Like 1 minute, I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm like talking about heart rhythms. The next minute, someone grabs me, picks me up, and I'm like standing up. He's behind me with a knife to my throat. He's crazy. The guy's crazy. And he was suffering from alcohol detox, and he was just kind of out of his mind a little bit. So the nurses run over there and they kind of talk him down. But for a few minutes there, it was getting a little sketchy. There for a few minutes. Big Chris Vogelman in the house, Big Doc Chris Vogelman in the house, tons of adversity. He's right. There's a lot of adversity online. And I was experiencing adversity that night with that guy with that knife to my throat, basically telling me he wanted to hold me hostage while he was escaping the hospital. I don't think he realized he was in the hospital. I think that he thought he was in some kind of a prison or something. Maybe he thought he was a POW or something. I don't know. But he definitely didn't think he was in the hospital. Chris says, wow. It was wow. It was crazy. But yeah, he didn't think he was in a hospital. He didn't know we were trying to care for him. We were trying to see him through his DTs and get him to where he was just like normal again. And he was just like out of his mind, taking hostages and stuff. Literally, that was the only time I've ever been a hostage. But it was crazy, man. And that was some weird adversity that night. I'll tell you another story. Before I worked at that hospital, I did a little while working at this nursing home, right? Taking care of old folks. I really enjoyed that job, taking care of old folks. I liked listening to their stories, and I'd have so much life experience. I had so much fun working at the nursing home. So I remember one day I was working at the nursing home, and we'd gotten a new patient in, and he had Alzheimer's. He was a little bit, he was a little out of it. But what I didn't know about him, well, I'll tell you what happened. I got him to the bathroom, right? I took him to the bathroom, and then he is having trouble walking. He wasn't very steady on his feet, so I kind of had to hold him to the side a little bit with something called a gait belt, right? It's a special little belt you put around people to help them walk, and trying to kind of hold him a little bit, making sure he doesn't fall over. And I'm taking him out to the dining room because I worked the second shift, 3 to 11 shift is what I worked back in those days. This is a while ago, guys. This is maybe like oh geez, man, this is like 2002 or something. This was quite a long time ago. I guess this time out, it's almost been 20 years. But anyways, I was helping this old guy. He seemed like the most harmless old guy you would ever think. Very low talking voice, very quiet voice. Just couldn't walk very good. I'm walking him out to the dining room. All of a sudden, he springs to life, gets rid of the gait belt, hits me in the jaw hard. All of a sudden, he's like bouncing up and down like this, like a boxer. And he's like looking at me like this, like he wants to box. And I'm like, looking at him like, hey, we're good, man. Calm down. It was crazy. And it took 3 or 4 of us to kind of get him to calm down. But he went from being this old guy who just kind of an old guy, just barely could walk. All of a sudden, bam, wanting to box me, hitting me in the jaw. And like what they told me was later, they said, yeah, he used to be a Golden Gloves boxer in the Army. I think it was in the Army, like when he was younger. So like the Alzheimer's had like messed with his head, and he would just like switch into Golden Gloves boxing mode sometimes. But it was the weirdest thing because he wasn't even very stable on his feet. Like he couldn't even walk very good. But then when he went into this Golden Gloves boxing mode, he was like some kind of lethal weapon or something. It was crazy. I'd never seen nothing like it. But yeah, you go to work every night in one of those healthcare environments, and it's always adversity, right? There's always something new and something weird going on. But that was another time I had experienced a little bit of weird adversity there. Strange. I got a lot of stories, from my time in healthcare. But I tell you guys, nothing really compares to the adversity of being your own boss, right? Online business, your own boss. Nothing compares to that. I have so many stories of things that I had planned in online business that did not go the way I wanted them to, or they went better than I thought they were going to. Nothing ever quite lines up exactly the way you want it to. There's always some little hang up or some little shift you need to make, it seems like. At least that's what it's been like for me. I have to do lots of little adjustments and just kind of tweak things here and there. And it's always something like that, really. Fat Stacks, I'm going to be putting it out in about 5 hours here, and it's going to give you 4 case studies of people who are already succeeding right now using similar tactics to what I'm going to give you in Fat Stacks. All right. Not only that, I want to give you 5 action plans in there. 5 action plans, all varied in their approach, so that you can overcome whatever adversity comes your way. It's a really great system, and I think you're going to love it. But it's not out yet. So I got about 5 hours on that thing. I got 3 more big things that are going to help you overcome adversity and succeed with business online. Big Doc says delirium takes its toll, but the muscle memory can take over. And Doc would know. He's a legitimate doctor. I've only got a couple of doctor friends. Chris Vogelman's one of them. Awesome guy. He's got a show. Him and RV John, they got a show. Comes out every Wednesday. It is the Don't Dream It, Stream It happy hour every Wednesday evening. Chris, you want to let them know what time you guys do that on Wednesdays? Really great show. You guys have to check it out. It's really fun. Okay, let's move on. Number 3, the third thing I can give you, the third piece of advice I can give you, the third piece of help that I can give you when it comes to building online success faster than lightning. I'll tell you in just a second. Let me see what Chris is saying here. My 89-year-old mother once kicked a nurse across the room. As a former high hurdler, she has very strong legs. I bet she does have strong legs. That's crazy, man. The marketing happy hour. That's right. You guys check with Chris on that. He can tell you the best place to find that. Usually Chris shares the marketing happy hour in Lust for Launch Facebook group. So if you guys remember the Lust for Launch Facebook group, you know, it's a public group. You can join it. We talk all about launching and internet marketing, and people post all kinds of free content in there. You know, Doc Vogelman and RV John are 2 guys who always post the marketing happy hour in Lust for Launching Facebook group. So you'll find it there every Wednesday. Yeah, for sure. It's a great show. It's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And they have their own page. So you guys can check out the Marketing Happy Hour Facebook page. And of course, all the live streams will appear on there. So, and he forgot to share in Lust for Launch this week. My bad. It is your bad, Doc. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about your stuff anymore, dude. This is ridiculous. How could you neglect my Facebook group, bro? All right. That's okay. It's all right. Okay, number 3, question your beliefs. This is a tough one, you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. This has been difficult for me also. Everyone these days has opinions, right? Everyone has opinions on everything. I mean, it's really amazing, to be honest. I mean, that maybe it could be because of all the information. You know, maybe it could be because people have so much information at their disposal now. Far more than when I was a kid. You know, when I was growing up, far more than when I was a kid. When I was growing up, I mean, you know, I had to go to the library to find information. I had to find someone who was knowledgeable about something. Now, I mean, the kids nowadays, they just pull out their phone and they're like, hey, Google, what is this? Hey, Google, what is that? Maybe that's why everyone feels like they have an opinion on everything. It's kind of crazy. But I tell you what, many times those opinions are fallible. You know, what I do know is that many times if I feel that something is impossible or that it cannot be done a certain way in business, I am generally wrong. And I know that's a bold statement. I know that's a bold statement, but it's the truth. I found it to be the truth. Many times, if I feel that something is impossible or that it cannot be done in a certain way in business, I am generally wrong, right? You know, this world of online business, it's not a world of black and white. It's a world of impact and attention. So at any given moment, a new normal can crop up on us and be like the new way to do something, right? And this is just the way it is. I'll tell you the first time that I experienced like a limiting belief, right? Chris says, thanks for the plug. Of course, Doc. Of course. No sweat, man. I don't believe that I can question my beliefs. We have an oversaturation of information. We do. We really do. We have an oversaturation. I missed the card catalogs at the library. It was a lot of work, but also an adventure. It was, man. There was no sadder nor more frequent epitaph, the pages of time, than we have always done it this way. Yeah, and it's scary. It's hard, when you have a way that seems like it works for you, especially if something works for you online, especially, you want to just rinse and repeat and you want to keep on doing it. And it's hard to change sometimes. It really is. Impact and attention. I like that. Makes sense. Thank you, Lou. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's hard to change, and it's easy to get stuck in a belief system that might not be relevant anymore. It really is. I'll give you guys an example. When I first joined the Navy, I was in the Navy for 5 years, from 95 to 2000. As when I joined in 95, and I was in there to 2000. And when I remember the first time I experienced something that was a limiting belief and it wasn't the truth. This is the first time I really actually realized that's all it was. It was when I was in boot camp, and me and a group of recruits had been just picked out randomly by an RDC, like basically a drill sergeant, screaming at us to come, and we were going to haul these big bags of laundry. And we had to haul them from this loading dock across this field to this truck, right? There was a truck across the field, and we had to haul these big bags of laundry. They're bigger than we were, right? They were huge. At least to me, they were huge. I only weighed about 130 pounds when I joined the Navy. This bag was as big as I was. So I grabbed my first bag, right? And I start to drag it across the field because I thought this is the only way I could carry this bag. It's as big as I was. I can't lift this thing. It was as big as I was. And you had never seen somebody run across the field because the RDCs were over there by the truck. You never seen someone come running across the field to the middle of the field, right where I was, screaming at me at the top of his lungs, dressing me down, telling me to drop that bag right now, and telling me I will not drag that bag across this field. Pick that bag up. This guy was screaming in my face, telling me I can't drag the bag, but my mind is telling me it's impossible for me to pick this bag up. Impossible, right? But this RDC had me so freaked out because you gotta understand, I was 19 years old. I was a kid out of high school. I'd never been talked to like that before. I was totally freaked out. My adrenaline was pumping, and I had tried to lift the bag up over there by the warehouse. I couldn't do it. My mind was telling me I couldn't do it. But this RDC had me between a rock and a hard place because he's basically telling me I'm not going to drag it. So dragging it was off the table. So I had no idea how I was going to get it to the truck. So I just dug deep inside me and just reached down with my adrenaline pumping, and slowly but surely, man, that bag started to come up. And pretty soon I had the damn thing up on my shoulder, right? And I'm moving slowly because, you're exerted when you just pick something up heavy. And I'm moving slowly, trying to process what just happened. The impossible just happened. My mind had told me I couldn't do that. But this RDC wouldn't let me not do it. And lo and behold, I freaking did it. So my mind was trying to process it. And I realized that wasn't even real. What I said to myself, it wasn't possible, that wasn't even real. It was possible. I mean, it changed a lot of things for me because I started questioning things that I thought might be true. And I think that in online stuff, when you're doing online stuff, you have to be very careful about getting set in your ways about what is possible and what is not possible, because things that are possible and not possible are always changing. People are always coming up with new ways to do things quicker, more efficient, faster, cheaper, easier. They're always doing that. This new product I have coming out, Fat Stacks. Look, I put out a lot of products, okay? But I don't think I've ever put out a product that is going to have you questioning what you thought is possible like this product will, right? It is truly unique and special, and what it can do and what it can combine and what it can make happen for you. And I think it will really have you questioning some of the things that you thought were possible. So yeah, that's what I'd say about that. Let me get a couple more of these comments, and then I'll move on to number 4. I got 2 more really good ones for you, okay? Chris says, there's no sadder. I read that. That's a good one, Chris. I love it. Okay. And then Lou says impact and attention. Perfect. Perfect. I love it, guys. I love it. I love it when people are talking on my live streams, man. I love talking to people on the live streams, and I love some of the things that people say. And I want you guys to feel free to talk about your websites and talk about the stuff you have going on, man. Because personally, I love kind of shouting out other people and just kind of like giving other people the spotlight and letting them talk about what they got going on. I think it's so important that we all try to lift each other up as marketers. And I think, it helps a lot. So that's how I feel. Anyways, number 4, all right, practice the art of discipline, right? And this has been a really hard one for me because, before I started online marketing, before I started this online journey, I had always worked for someone else, man. And, this idea of, just discipline when no one was telling me what to do was very difficult. Someone had always been telling me what to do pretty much my whole life. Consistency, I would say, has been my biggest ally in online business. When we talk about things that help us achieve success with online business, the idea of consistency has been my biggest ally in online business. And I'd say it's followed closely by working hard to maintain this kind of strong ethical stance without being like the I am police. I will talk about things that I don't think are right, but very rarely do I actually call people out by name. But I think it's important to maintain a strong ethical stance in internet marketing, just because of the simple fact that it's so easy to make money here the wrong way, right? And you can make a boatload of money by doing things the wrong way, and you can make that money really, really quickly. And I found people who have got here, and they were really good people ethically, but they got kind of corrupted by the money, because you can earn money really, really quickly here. And if you kind of slide on your ethics a little bit, and just kind of slide it in there, you can earn some money really fast. So it's tough, but I think you kind of got to draw a line in the sand when you get here when it comes to ethics. But consistency, right? I would say that's been my number one ally. The last couple weeks have been crazy for me, you guys. I'm just kind of speaking on this art of discipline for a minute. I've been really good at being consistent with my online business, but I haven't been very good at being consistent with my diet over these last several years. When I started working for myself, one thing that seemed to go downhill was my ability to exercise and, eat right, right? Just being in control of my own destiny and just doing my thing seemed like I was eating far worse and exercising far less. I got up to 273 pounds, right? But these last 2 weeks, I've been calorie counting, right? I've been doing this little food journal and calorie counting. I've been eating at specific times a day. And I think I started 2 weeks ago, and I was at 270 something. And now I'm down to 262. So it's slowly starting to come off, But I've had to be very disciplined in my food. The same kind of discipline that I use in online business, I've had to apply that to my eating habits. And it's not been very easy. When you work for yourself, you get used to nobody telling you what to do. You start when you want, you stop when you want. People don't tell you what to do. It's pretty awesome. But sometimes that can translate over into other parts of your life where you still need to stay disciplined. It's kind of weird, but I think to be great, even though there's no when you start, when you stop, no one's telling you how much content to put out. No one's telling you how to no one's telling you how to build your content. No one's telling you what to put out. No one's telling you when to publish new things. No one's telling you what kind of sales to run. No one's telling you any of that stuff. How often do you do it? How much should you charge? How big should your list be? What should this be? What should that be? How long should this go on? No one tells you anything. You're free to do it however you want to do it. However, to be great and to get to another level, Like, you really have to be disciplined in your work ethic. And I think it's even harder when you work for yourself because you don't have a time clock to punch in and punch out. You don't have to like get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and be at work by 7:30. You're not gonna have to worry about some jerky boss calling you if you don't get to work on time. You're not gonna get points if you clock in 10 minutes late or something. It's not gonna happen, man. No one is telling you what to do. You're the ruler of your own destiny. And sometimes that freedom is a little too much for people. I think for me, for some reason, for whatever reason, I was unlucky in this way. When I got all that freedom, it reflected itself in just unhealthy eating and not worrying about what I was eating and not exercising. So I've been working really hard to correct that over these last couple weeks. Don't think this is the first time I've tried. I've tried and I've messed up, and I've tried and I messed up. I had somebody tell me one time, man, when you want to lose that weight more than you want to eat that pepperoni pizza or whatever, then you'll lose the weight. Right. And that was a few years ago when someone said that to me, and it was harsh. I thought it was kind of a harsh thing to say. However, it rang true. There was a lot of truth to it. And I think it's the same for online business. When you want to succeed in online business more than you want to just kind of slack off and watch Netflix or, slack off and hang out with your friends or whatever, then you're going to succeed. Right. We tend to put a priority on things that are important to us, truly important to us, right? It doesn't matter what you say and what is in your heart are two different things. And the truth of the matter is we put a priority on the things that are important to us. Now, look, when it comes to the art of the discipline, I can sit here and tell you, look, my FastStacks training, it's been built around a little known platform that's going to allow you to schedule your content out over a year if you wanted to. Paid content, Web 2.0 in the form of comments and likes, one-on-one in the form of email broadcasting, and much more, okay? But still, and like we all know this, discipline is built from within. It comes from the heart, right? It doesn't come from the head. You can't outthink your way out of bad discipline. You just have to want it, right? You have to want it, and you just have to want, and that's it. Right, so that's number 4. And I got one more for you. Chris says, I have my own business, but I hired staff to tell me what to do. Nice. That's another option. Keep you accountable. It's almost like your staff is your own little accountability team. This is fantastic. That's an impressive start. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that, man. It hasn't been easy. These last 2 weeks have been difficult for me. For some reason, I'm not gifted with the ability to lose weight. Like, I have been gifted with this like ability to make money on the internet, even though I don't really think that's an ability. I just think I worked really hard to do it. But at the same time, for whatever reason, I have a passion for trying to earn money online and having these businesses happen online. I have a passion for that. I don't really have a passion for like eating healthy. I don't have a passion for exercising. So it has been very difficult, but I know it's really not about passion in that situation. It's really about longevity of life, and it's really about discipline. I need to be more disciplined with myself when it comes to eating, and that's all it is, man. But thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate the compliment, man. My boss was a real SOB. I was self-employed. That's funny. All right, guys. So I got one more for you, man, and I hope this one helps you. I hope all these little stories I've been telling you, man. I hope all these little stories have been helpful to you. I hope that these five ways have been helpful. I'm gonna kind of summarize the 5 ways when I get done with this 5th one, and just kind of boom, 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 lay them out for you. But I'll do that in a second when I get to this 5th one. Chris says, your car is not passionate about gasoline and oil changes. Nope, it's not, man. That's true. Yep, he's right. All right, so number 5, money. Now, this is important, okay? This is very, very important, all right? And I want you to remember this. If you're out there right now and you're struggling online, or you're having trouble getting to the next level, I want you to remember this one point. All right. If you can't remember any of the other things I talked about, I want you to remember this one. All right. Money cannot buy ambition and it cannot buy motivation. You can buy all the courses in the world. You can have all the best mentors and coaches that money can buy. None of that will move you forward faster than a sincere ambition to get better at a thing. All right. I believe personally that human beings are creatures of ambition, right? We take it to another level, way beyond survival. Out of all the animals in the animal kingdom, I think that we as humans are the masters of the art of ambition. Nobody does it like we do it. I mean, these other animals, they're just trying to survive. But us humans, we take ambition to another level, right? Ambition is our domain. I'll give you a quick little story. For a long time, all through my 20s, man, I just wanted to be a musician, man. I wanted to play in bands. That's what I wanted to do, man. Rock and roll, that was my life. And all that time, I was playing cheap guitars. I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't make a lot of money. I had cheap guitars. I remember I had this Alvarez. It was an acoustic Alvarez, and it was like a $200 guitar, right? Wasn't much to it. I went to studios. I recorded with that thing. Didn't make much money. I wanted you guys to get that straight too. I didn't make a lot of money as a musician, but I played a lot of music, right? But anyways, I recorded lots of music with that Alvarez. Played tons of shows with that Alvarez. That Alvarez could talk. He could tell you lots of stories, right? So then sometime later, after I had started my online journey, I was making money online and everything else like that. I had more money. This was probably towards the start, of everything. And I was like, yeah, I finally got the money, man. I'm going to get the guitar I want to get. And I replaced that Alvarez. I replaced it with a Martin, right? And you don't have to know a lot about guitars, but this basically, I just want you to understand, this is a pretty expensive guitar. It was a Martin, and this was the guitar that I wanted to replace. When it came to my acoustic guitars, this was the one I wanted. It had the perfect sound. I was able, for the first time ever, I was able to go to the music store and just go through all the guitars and play them and figure out the one that sounded just the best. And I was able to lay the cash down for that thing. I was never able to do that before, man. Never. So I had that guitar. I remember taking it to the park, playing it, taking it home. But very, very few times do I think I ever played that Martin at a show. And that Martin's never been to a studio to record any music. I don't even think I've ever recorded any music with that Martin. What is the point of what I'm trying to say? When I had the money, I had lost the ambition for the music. I had the money and I was able to buy all the equipment because it didn't stop with just the Martin. I bought several pedals. I bought new equipment. I think I was trying to rekindle my inspiration. I was trying to rekindle my ambition for music, but the ambition was gone for music. I had a son now. I had a family now. My ambitions were in other places. I was making money on the internet. My new ambition was marketing, not music. I had moved on. It was a really hard thing for me to accept, but that's the way it was. So all the money in the world, I could buy all the best equipment that I could get, but none of it mattered. I couldn't buy the ambition back. I couldn't buy that motivation back. I had moved on. Some of you guys out there, you might be in the wrong niche. You might be doing all the right things, but in the wrong niche, right? So what I can tell you is this. Humans are creatures of ambition. You have ambition inside you. You have to follow your passion to tap into your ambition. Now, Fat Stacks is cool because Fat Stacks can be used in any niche. Any niche that your heart desires, you can use Fat Stacks to great effects. The fact of the matter is, if you want to see success online, it's going to be a lot easier if you can tap into your ambition. Now, to do that, you have to tap into your passion, right? And that could be one of the things that's holding a lot of you guys back. Your stories are always entertaining and enlightening. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Money can't buy you love, and money can't buy you ambition. Can't buy me love. What's up, dude? What's up to you, man? What is up to you? All right, so let me summarize these really quick for you guys. All right. 5 ways to build online success faster than lightning. Embrace change, embrace adversity, question your beliefs, practice the art of discipline, and money cannot buy ambition nor motivation. You're going to have to follow your heart. You're going to have to follow your passion if you want to capture your ambition. All right. Those are my 5 ways, man. I hope they've been helpful to you guys. I'm going to be launching Fast Acts at 1 a.m. Eastern time. There'll be a link around here somewhere if you want to pick that course up. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think you should pick it up. And I will see you guys at 1 a.m. Peace, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight.